If God became a creation, therefore he created creation. But he became a creation. So who created that creation is God. But God is not created, but he became a creation. Well, doesn't make any sense. How are you, man? Long time. How you doing? How's family? Barakallah, nice to see you, Akhi, man. Are you around, yeah? We'll talk, inshallah. Salam alaikum. Salam alaikum. How are you? You good? MashaAllah. صام يا أخي. ماش معاهم.
All of them, they come to attack me. All of them.
No. They won't stop it. Huh? No, I saw. They won't stop it. No. We saw them, alhamdulillah. That's why I came. And they just stop it. I'm telling you. No. We have to be just. Wallahi. They just stopped it. They came and they stopped it. Yeah. You right, brother? You good, yeah?
I know him.
Huh?
I know him.
Inshallah, how are you? You good, yeah? How's family?
Yes.
They were good, yeah?
Yeah.
Where are you from?
From the Netherlands.
Netherlands, Holland?
Yes.
There's a lot of people from Holland, they come here sometimes.
Yeah.
Mashallah. Are you from Holland as well? He's from Holland.
Yes, okay. I'm going for Ajax.
Oh, is it far from each other?
Yeah, it's the rifle, Amsterdam, Rotterdam.
Are you Muslim, brother? Muslim?
I'm a Christian.
You become Muslim today?
No.
Okay, what Christian are you?
I'm just a Christian follower of Jesus.
Okay, but there's a born again Christian, Catholic.
Yeah, born again Christian.
So you believe Jesus is God?
Yes, I believe that.
I was also Catholic, but I refer to Islam.
He also. Me too, yeah.
Okay, what we say to Afwan, what's your name?
My name is Shervin.
Huh?
Shervin.
Chauvin, yeah, my name is Shamsi Chauvin. Originally, where are you from, if you don't mind?
Yeah, Curaçao.
Huh?
I'm born in the Netherlands, but my roots are in Curaçao. It's Caribbeans.
Okay, mashallah. What I would say to you, that you as a Christian and as a Muslim, we believe God is perfect.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
Okay. God knows everything all the time.
Yeah, I know where this is going.
Yeah.
Jesus doesn't know the hour. And,
No, not about just that. God knows everything all the time.
Yeah, yes.
Correct? If God knows everything all the time, he has a perfect knowledge.
Yes.
Therefore, he will never become ignorant.
True that, yeah.
Yeah.
In a way, yeah.
He will never become ignorant.
Yeah.
If he become ignorant,
Then he's not God.
there's no God. So you cannot justify it to say he become human.
Yeah.
Because if he become human,
Then he's not God anymore.
he's not God anymore.
Yeah, I know the point.
So how can you,
Believe
as a
in-
person who God gave you intellect, sound reasoning,
Yes.
harmonize between
Jesus.
God is perfect
But yet still he's
and
human.
yet he become limited?
He has been limited in a way because there's a simple answer with the saying all the time is like at one point in time Jesus is God, fully divinity, but at one point he just takes on a human flesh. So like you and me, just a human, we can talk, we can see. So it's a mystery to us how he revealed himself to us at some point, at some time. So we still believe Jesus is God, but we also believe at some point he is human just as us. That's the beautiful thing about Jesus is that he still has his divinity, but yet he's still on the same level, so we can comprehend the feeling of ours.
So that Jesus know the hour.
He knew that. I believe myself that he knew the hour. He knew the hour at some point, but yet when he came as a human, he gave the attributes, some attributes of God.
But it's contradiction.
Yeah, it seems like contradiction.
It's not. It is contradiction.
Yeah.
Okay, if you know my name,
Yeah.
okay, you have to understand, yeah, if God is perfect, he has a perfect knowledge. And when you say perfect knowledge, mean he was never ignorant.
Yes.
And he doesn't forget.
Yeah.
Okay? So that's mean there was no ignorance prior to him at all. He knows everything, mean his knowledge, and doesn't forget. So when Jesus said, no one knows the hour,
Only the Father.
even himself doesn't know the hour, only the Father. Was Jesus speaking the truth or was he lying?
He was speaking the truth.
So therefore Jesus doesn't know the hour.
He didn't know that. Maybe at that time he didn't know the hour.
Yeah, but God knows everything all the time.
Yes.
So if he knows everything all the time,
Yeah.
by default, he cannot be ignorant and he cannot forget any time.
Yes.
If he becomes ignorant in any time, he cannot be the same God who knows everything all the time. That's called a paradox.
Yes, I know the point. It's a great
Yeah.
point. What I believe for myself is that sometimes when Jesus was walking on earth, that sometimes he needed to express himself as God. A few moments in the New Testament, he shows himself that he's the God. Even the Jews tried to kill him because he's making the claim that he has some divinity.
You
But
can
those-
utilize it.
but-
You cannot utilize Jewish people as a proof because Jewish people also believed he was not a Messiah.
Yeah, I know
Yeah.
exactly. But my point is more like sometimes, and I believe sometimes he needed to express himself as a God, and sometimes he needed to express himself as a human being because he came on a mission to live just like a human being because your God is not a human
But Jesus
being.
as a God is not the Father, is he?
No, he's a son.
He's the Son.
Like the-
Who knows the
Son.
hour, the Father or the Son? Okay, you believe Jesus had two nature. The Son, he has human nature and a God nature. Focus, yeah? Jesus as God, not as the Son, not as human. Jesus as God is a Son. He's not the Father, he's the Son.
Yeah, he's a son.
Okay. Jesus as God, does he know the hour?
As God, he knows the hour, yes. He knows
That's not true because Jesus said only the Father knows. No, before that, Jesus already exclude anyone. He said only the Father. If it's only the Father, therefore the Son, because Jesus is not the Father. So therefore Jesus, even as for the sake of argument, even say Jesus as God, he doesn't know because Jesus said only the Father. Also he took out the Holy Spirit.
Yes, I know that.
So therefore, according to Jesus, Matthew 13:32, Jesus as God, does he know the hour or only the Father knows the hour?
The Father, let me say the Father.
Jesus cannot be God because even as God does know the hour. And he cannot be God. You know what? You know what you have to understand, bro. Yeah, what Jesus said is very similar. It's in the Quran to show you they come with the same teaching. In the Quran, Allah said, "يسألونك عن الساعة." They ask you about the hour. Yeah. When it will establish the meaning of the verse. Yeah. So they asking Prophet Muhammad when the day of judgment will happen. What Prophet Muhammad said, he said only the meaning of the verse only Allah knows. So Jesus and Prophet Muhammad, they said the same thing. Because both of them, they were messengers of the Most High. Okay? And to give you a rational, logical argument, which is in the Quran, Allah said in the Quran about Jesus, why he cannot be God. Allah mentioned about Jesus and his mother, كَانَ يَأْكُلَانِ الطَّعَامِ. These are powerful arguments. Both of them used to eat food. That's not the nature of the Most High. The Most High is not in need of anything. Everything is in need of the Most High. If the Most High became something and he's in need of that thing, he cannot be the Most High who is self-sufficient. These are logical arguments Allah used.
And I understand you completely, but even there are some places in the New Testament which it takes on claims that only a divine being can have or can be, such as
I and the Father are one. You know the context of that?
Yeah, kind of thing like that. But this
No, do you know the context of that? The context.
The context.
If you read the context, you know, when Jesus then goes on to say to his disciples, just as I and the Father are one, I'll pray to the Father, you are one too. So disciples are one with them. What does that mean? One in purpose. Because if you say, when Jesus said, I and the Father are one, mean one, they are one, they're not one. Because you already believe Jesus is not the Father, and the Father is not the Son. So clearly they're not one as the way you should think about it. Also, when Jesus said, okay, does God have a God?
Does God have a God? No, but he said, to my God, to your God. That's what
No,
Jesus
before
said.
that, Jesus as a God, because to show you, look, doesn't make any sense, yeah? Jesus, he was God and a man same time.
Yeah.
Jesus as a man, yeah? Who is his God?
As a man, the Father, I suppose.
What about the other nature of Jesus as God? He's not God anymore?
It's still God.
Is that the God of Jesus as human?
Yeah, in some way it is. That's a great mystery. In some way it is. Yeah,
But
it's
Jesus
very-
negate that. Jesus said, I'm going to my Father, your Father.
To my
Who is,
God, to your God.
so therefore, Jesus as a human, his God is the Father. But we know God is the God of everyone. So if Jesus as God is the God of everyone, he could be God of himself as a human. So therefore,
that's a great mystery. Actually, that's quite good. Because
if it's mystery, what do you mean?
It's a mystery that our
If
God
it's,
revealed it to us.
but if it's a mystery, you know what is a mystery? Mystery is worse than a theory. Mystery is worse than a theory. It cannot be explained. So do you think look Islam is simple. When you look at Christianity, it's a mystery, yeah? But we know the Most High will never punish people based upon something that we cannot comprehend and cannot understand. That's why the Most High is not gonna punish me because I don't know how he looks. Because that's beyond my capacity of understanding, you know? Why he's gonna punish me? Clearly said, worship me alone and don't worship no one beside me. If I worship someone beside Allah, Allah will punish me because the verse is clear. The statement is clear. Look Islam, how Allah describes himself. قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ. Say Allah is one, unique. Allahu Samad is self-sufficient. Everything is in need of him. لَمْ يَلِدْ وَلَمْ يُولَدْ. He begat not, neither was he begotten. وَلَمْ يَكُنْ لَهُ كُفُوًا أَحَدٌ. there is nothing comparable to him. There is nothing like unto him. Another verse, Allah said, Allahu la ilaha illa huwa al-hayyul qayyum. Allah, who is Allah? The one who deserves to be worshipped alone. Al-hayyul qayyum, the ever living, the one who's in charge of everything. So that's the God we worship, perfect God. Then you come to Christianity, God become a baby, someone breastfed him, someone changed his nappy, the God got beaten by people that he created, but God is all powerful. God was scared, he was hiding. That is not a God, that's deficiency. Come to Islam.
Now we're going to explain why that's such a beautiful thing. He said God is a baby, he's breastfeed. I get the point, but what's the reason about that? It does not become human just because he can be a human or something like that. Because he had a mission to do so, to become in flesh. And that's the beautiful message of Christianity, which we believe today. Because as a human, Jesus walked from baby to death as a human, so to show us how God has to be worshipped. And so even Jesus has the same.
You remind me of someone who justified a crime.
Just a crime.
You know what I'm saying? Out of respect. You know what you're doing? You're saying, but you know why? Regardless what justification is invalid. Because why? God is perfect, bro.
He's perfect,
I'm telling you, come worship a perfect God.
Don't say it isn't the case if God take on human flesh, doesn't make him imperfect.
When he become a baby,
it makes him imperfect.
Okay.
Because God never ceases to exist, even though Jesus
No,
came
no,
in flesh,
okay.
God never ceases to exist.
Okay, who's in charge of that baby? The mother breastfed him, changed his nappy, and all of that.
The flesh, the flesh.
Okay, you say it's the flesh, yeah? According to your Bible, John 1:1, he said God, the Word became flesh, meaning God became flesh. So it's not. He never said. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word is God. Yes. Then the Word became flesh. Yeah. He never said the Word became a soul. So the Word became flesh. So you Christians shall say no, he was a flesh human being. No, became flesh. If he became flesh, so that flesh, that baby in a flesh that was touched, his mother was touching, breastfeeding him, that was God. He became like this. Are you seriously believe this is the biggest calamity? That you believe God, the Most High. You know, in the Old Testament, Jacob said, "Oh God, the heavens and the earth cannot contain you. The heavens and the earth cannot contain you, cannot hold you, contain you. Let alone my temple." Okay, who is bigger? I have respect. Who is bigger? The temple of Jacob or Jesus' mother's womb?
The temple of Jacob.
The temple. So if his temple cannot contain God, and before the temple, the heavens and the earth, but he's inside this one. So either Jacob was lying when he said the heavens and the earth cannot contain you, even my temple. Lie doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, but like maybe many prophets could say what they said, but they like expression of how they see God, because then you had a different view of how he saw God.
Yeah, but you believe God's bigger than his creation, is it?
Of course.
Is he bigger than his creation?
Yeah, of course.
All the time?
Yeah, but how can he, then the question arises, how can he...
No, but before how? Is God bigger than his creation all the time?
Yeah.
All the time?
Yeah.
So when he was inside the Mary,
but it
was not all the time, so there's a contradiction, paradox.
No, because he still was bigger than the Father, still the Holy Spirit.
No, Jesus as God.
The only thing what happened with Jesus special is at one time he descended into flesh, but still God the Father still exists up there.
No, I'm talking about the Father. Jesus as God. Jesus as God.
If you talk about Jesus as God, if you talk about Jesus, you have to talk about all the three, because they three forms of unity, which you believe like.
They don't, because why? They don't all the time. They don't. Because no. The Father never. I'll tell you why. The Father never asked help from Jesus.
Sorry?
The Father never asked help from Jesus.
Yeah, but even if that's
always in the Bible,
Jesus asked
the Father never said, "Help me." Jesus always, he's a servant of the Father.
Of course, why?
So therefore, I understand, because he will come die for our sins. But my point here is that doesn't make any sense, bro. What I'm saying to you, that you telling me God was inside smaller womb doesn't make any sense. That's why I would say, look, be honest. I know deep down it doesn't make any sense. Wallah, you know that. And I will tell you, it's good to smile.
If you really open your eye, it's of course.
I'm gonna open my eye bigger, wallah. How is gonna? So, the one I will say to you, look, we're gonna stand before God, and we're going to die. That's why Allah in the Quran utilizes psychological arguments for the people who are rejecting that which is not by necessity. When you die or she dies and all of us are going to die, no one's going to come with us inside the grave. Allah said you will return the way we created you. In the Quran, Allah said about people claiming that Allah has a son. This is the biggest is a calamity. Let alone God, the Most High, becoming a baby. You know, that's a paradox. If you say God become baby, that is within itself is a paradox, because God is not a creation and the creation is God. If God become a creation, therefore he created creation, but he became a creation. So who created that creation is God, but God is not created, but he became a creation. Well, doesn't make any sense. Wallahi, doesn't make sense.
Very confusing.
Very confusing. He became Muslim, correct? Look, he became Muslim. He became Muslim.
Say in the Bible, God is not the author of confusion.
And he said in the Bible, you know, it's good. In the Bible, it said God is not the author of confusion. Wallah, when you read the Quran, Islam is so simple. Bro, you Caribbean, correct?
Yeah, I'm Caribbean.
Okay, my family Caribbean too. You know, the Europeans brought to us Christianity, and they brought to Africa Christianity, yeah, and forced it upon us, yeah. The same people that forced us to become Christians, they have left Christianity. Holland, you're from Holland. Yeah. Holland is not Christian, it's more liberal. You know, atheistic. Yeah, France. Why? Because they've noticed a lot of people, a lot of Christians either, uncle, yeah, either they becoming a Muslim or they are atheists. Because you cannot stand telling someone God become a baby, but God the Almighty become baby. That's paradox. Also, when you look to Islam has a solution for everything. You know. Alas. We're gonna summarize this. Come, turn it off that one, because I won't forget about it. It was a waste of time. Wallahi. Where is your wife or your sister or your girlfriend?
I'm a girlfriend.
Okay. But you're Christian, you can't have girlfriend.
Well, I'm planning to marry.
Allah guide you, man. What I would say to you, I'll say to you, look, the reason that when I was speaking to you is making sense to you, because you haven't studied philosophy. I know this brother or this guy. He studied philosophy. When you hear him, and that's the problem. Philosophy. What it does, it will try to complicate everything. Understand? And that's why they reject God. They say, look, okay, God exists, prove to me God exists. Okay? But maybe it's this, maybe it's that, maybe it's this. That's what it's philosophy, skepticism, doubt everything, Using our sound reason, the way Creator given to us, has nothing to do with philosophy. You call it philosophy or not, has nothing to do with it. But I'm saying rationally, logically, how God creates us, when He creates us, we know God is perfect.
Yeah, I know that.
Okay.
How can God become a baby?
No. You never use your reasoning to say God is perfect. You know it naturally.
Yeah.
Is that correct? You see? Naturally, you know God is perfect.
I actually agree with them. It's philosophy, but that's not the point.
Did you use?
But that's not the point. That's not the point of
Did
it.
you use your brain to say your God is perfect, or you know it? God is perfect.
You know.
You know, that's my point.
Yeah.
To him, no. But you know what? We're born with it, because there's something called a fitra, and fitra, which is we're born something naturally with it. You don't have to think about it. Naturally, you know it.
Yeah.
You know, as soon as you know the term, you know that's it. So my point here is we know God is perfect.
Yeah.
So when you say the perfect God become a baby,
How is it still perfect?
doesn't make any sense. We start saying, but because he did this, he did that. It's just justifying it.
Because that's our different perspective. Because
Who does this belong to?
He's coming back.
Okay.
Because when we say when God incarnated, when Jesus incarnated in the flesh as Jesus Christ, it came with a mission. It's not like he become a baby and just like letting around something. It has a purpose. All written down from the beginning. Even before the earth, it was already known to God what His plan was. Because a man's going to sin. That's the story of Christianity. Man's going to sin. There will be the Mosaic law, and then that one has been renewed by Jesus. And that's how it went through the New Testament. When Jesus died for us, it was a whole mission. That's the whole story of Christianity. And then Muhammad comes along, telling all types of things. Yes, Allah, this, that.
No, wait.
That's the thing.
Show me in the Old Testament when He said there's three God in one. There's three in one.
No, there's no such thing as a sentence.
So watch this. Watch this. That's it, yeah. So why this keep dropping? You know, all the prophets in the Old Testament, one God.
Also, Jesus is one God.
They
Because we don't believe in three gods. We don't believe
Is the Father fully God?
Yeah, the Father is God, the Son is God.
No. First, step by step. Is the Father? Is the Father fully God?
Yeah, the Father is God.
Does He have everything that God must have?
Yes.
Yes.
Father,
so we are not in need. So can everything rely on the Father by Himself? Can the Father be in charge of everything by Himself?
Yes, He can.
So that's it. We don't need nothing else.
But still, the thing is, God is not defined as only the Father or only Jesus, it's only the Holy Spirit.
but Arash,
He revealed himself through the Son, through the Father.
No, I don't believe that.
That's what we believe. That's
No,
Christianity.
you don't believe. No.
You
You don't believe that. You don't believe the Father became a Son.
We don't say that. I don't
Yes,
say
that's what I'm saying. So the
that.
Son is different than the Father.
Yeah, but still.
So what I'm
but
saying,
you've written this out.
okay, when the Son became baby, that was the Father became baby.
No, because it's only the Son.
So the Father never became baby.
The Father didn't
So the Father is separate than the Son.
Yeah, they're separate.
So there's two God.
Yeah, but that's the mystery. What
Okay, which God became baby, the Father or the Son?
The Son. But both
So
are
there's
the
two
same
God.
name.
There's two God.
They're the same God. But
Are there two God or one?
they're one God.
So who became baby?
Jesus became baby.
Is that the Father?
No, it's not the Father. Okay.
So there's two then?
No, there's not two. That's the mystery. That's the
Nah,
Bible. You can go
guide
like
you.
this all
We are
day.
like guide you, man.
But-
We are like
no,
guide
no,
you.
no.
I have to go.
like-
I've been
Okay.
speaking for
It
long.
was a great
It was
time.
nice meeting you. Take care of
Yes.
yourself, yeah? Take care of yourself.